What's good, YouTube? And welcome to the house. There's a tornado watch where I'm at right now. My internet's acting super funky during it, so if it takes a bit for a tab to load live during this video, I don't edit. We try to get this out as fast as possible. And let's go ahead and look at Bonanza Day 1. And Nekroz got its support last night, and people are calling it cope. It's almost good enough. Wait, there's gonna be more pieces, that kind of stuff going with it. But that hasn't stopped people from buying out the quarter century secret rare Nekroz of Bryonic here on day 1 as one of the most hype pieces coming on in. I did say during pre-sales I thought this might be pretty good to grab early in case it turns out decent to good, and it is at least decent. Now, when it comes down to other Nekroz buyouts, we see Nekroz Cycle going. We already mentioned the whatever his name is, the other one that I'm disrespecting out of Ghosts from the Past. So be aware other Nekroz buyouts are happening around, but we're focusing Bonanza right now. I'm a YouTuber, I'm gonna murder names, it's gonna happen. Triple Tactics Thrust is going crazy right now in terms of getting bought up as soon as it gets listed for the most part. Look how low these listings are, 8, 9, 10, and the cheap ones are still trying to be listed at cheapish prices, but they're getting snapped call, so they're starting to jump up just a bit. Now, they're still under, I believe, some of the pre-sales, so that's pretty good, but it feels like they're headed up towards that kind of demand right now. SP Little Knight is right around where pre-sales were, and it's funny how ultra rare is less desired in here than super rares to some degree. I do agree supers just look better on some cards. So here's SP Little Knight Ultra around 5. I think if you were buying at tier 0 with the code, you paid about that. And then here is the super, where it's actually more expensive than pre-sales were for the most part. Many of them at $7+ with very few below that. Now, I did say that I felt like Thrust for the meta cards would probably be worth more because people are going to want full play sets of those to have access, where SP 1 to 2 of it in the extra deck depending on what you're playing. So even with the waifu tax and all that, it made sense that the meta staple that goes main decked and you would want access to would end up being the more in-demand card, and it is panning out that way. Again, it's still all speculation till things hit, and what I did not expect is if you actually click the Mega 10 cases here for this year, they've gone back up in price after seeing the day 1 Bonanza prices, and that is relatively new, back to 170, and then quickly when those are gone up towards 190. Now, somebody did tell me that the math for the 10s before all these reprints was that you could make money if you were buying in at 170 and doing all the work, and afterwards it was like 200 to 210. So if the prices have stabilized where people are still kind of trying to buy some of those cards, where I do think they'll still fall down in price, but you're only seeing them in like, what, 1 out of 3, 4 cases for each of those secret rares, like, it makes sense that, like, that wouldn't affect that overall pull value that much. And all those 150s, 140s, they've been snap called and eaten up off of the market. You can see where it tanked versus where it was at 190. And here it comes back up. People are spending 170 and they're at 170. And there's not too many of those before they're back up on the cases. I don't think it's worth diving into this set personally, but others are saying that they have mathed the math and that a lot of it ends up panning out over the set to be worth it for them as vendors. I just would really need to sit down and do that estimated value pulled, but the main reason we're looking at this is a lot of these cards got hit by Bonanza, right? And I think they'll continue to go down, like SP Little Knight, Triple Tactics Thrust, Diabell Star, Wanted. They are Prismatic Secret Rare, which is still a different rarity, Bonfire, but you're going to have that other quarter century secret rares / platinum and other things people are going to be after for these specific cards. But it's 5 of the front page, and the rest of the front page, a lot of it's double digits here or bordering double digits. And I'm still shocked at how far down Dark Magician Girl QCR is with how hunted it is in Bonanza. So atop the set, shockingly, is Blue Eyes White Dragon. Now, I do know we're gonna hit Blue Eyes Mania here. I just didn't expect another quarter-century Secret Rare Blue Eyes to be able to do it, and that's probably on me for doubting Blue Eyes, even though it's LOB art. You got the SDK art, which people love way more, yet here we are, atop the set. It's just wild. So if that's what you went for on pre-sales, big dub skis. Dark Magician Girls, I did point out that they were going to be basically taking the same slot, at least in the EU. I haven't got US case ratios on those yet, but A and C, I'm guessing the two arts that I like more, but I'm not 100% on that, are beating pre-sales by a good margin right now, and C is on complete buyout mode. I don't know which is which. I'd have to look at the set number. Caius is doing relatively well for itself. Engage is above, I think, Tier 0's price, but below Gamer's Choice price, so that's why I tell you to shop around pre-sales, and we go around. I didn't think Engage would be holding like this personally, though, so kudos to Gamer's Choice for still thinking about it being in the top of the set. It is top 5, but they were still overcharging for it a little, as I pointed out. Dark Magician, I did not think would be up here above Dark Magician Girl. This is a big surprise to me, because in most sets where both of these are offered, it's the DMG going, and with it sharing the slot, at least in the EU, I would think that these would be able to outpace this, and this would have less of a demand. These often get overhyped early in sets as well, and also go down in value over time, but again, I need to look at more ratios and get more data on that to see if anything's happening there. BLS is under what I thought. I thought this would be the card of the set, even though GOAT format has taken a backseat. As I mentioned, it's such an icon, which is why JD is doing so good here, and actually overperforming what I thought, but I noticed that Dark Armed had a little bit of a recent buyout. It is up towards 120 out of the Battles of Legend, maybe in anticipation for this. It's not like it's a popular played format, and anything with JD I feel like isn't all that popular as well in terms of it being mega relevant, but at the same time people are going for it. And to drive that point home, so many people were hyped about Charge of the Light Brigade's release. I thought it would be higher than this current price, and here it is sitting down at $7, $6.9 nice. So yeah, it's not like people are pushing JD at this price in order to play it, and it's not like it's selling. It's more of an icon to send in a binder, more likely, but let me know. And it's not like it has the most sales data actually here either. That is interesting. So it's holding up here, or trying to hold up here, 20 listers with only 2 sales, huh? Let's actually check in on the sales on this Dark Magician Girl that only has the 4 listings, because again, we are day 1. Not the most in the world. 2, 4, 6, 7 listings, 3 of them sold here together, was able to make that disappear because there are less of them, and that would be easier. Like I said, some of this is going to take time to load today, so do bear with me. Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon is front page. Linkage is down a bit. They were talking about this in the Discord, how surprised they were. See, that's the card I thought, even though Engage is iconic, that would be kind of like, oh man, it's in here, I kind of want this. I thought that would be it. Goblin, Upstart Goblin, is towards where I thought it would be, right at 30. That's where I threw the dart at the dartboard. I thought 30, but I want to bet against draw cards. I think it ended up being 33 on pre-sales after code, but 30 is about what I thought it should start at, but I felt like people might end up going for that a lot more. Slifer is up here, and Winged Dragon of Ra. Again, those may be shorter as well, but that could be clumping. I need more data. Dark Paladin front page is interesting because it's so iconic, but I do feel like not everything can be money, despite the shortness of being able to pull these through cases because of the card pool. I do think you'll see a lot of these come down in price over time. Speaking of, Bryonic Dragon of the Ice Barriers in here, and that's a really good one for past formats. I don't know why I missed that one completely through all the reveals. I really like Bryonic in here. But yeah, like I said, think without FOMO, things that you want, judge whether you think they'll go up or down. That's still speculation and gambling with prices when it comes to Yu-Gi-Oh cards early on, and I think you will see probably 10 to 12 cards over the next couple weeks go up, and most of the rest of the set fall out. It could be more with how expansive the set is, but make your calls and decide if you want to put your money behind those calls or just play it safe and wait, and what you really need versus what you want with such a huge set list like this. Many people are going after the meta staples like Thrust. That makes way more sense. As for other buyouts due to this set, going back, reaching into other sets, Rarity Collection 2 has a couple buyouts. Gold Sarcophagus completely charging up here to $23, and that's not the most shocking. Prize card, quarter century secret rare. People have even spent up to $19 on this one in the buyout mode. And here's a relist at $16 if you want it before it jumps up to $23. Nadir's Servant quarter century secret rare is going up for being played in multiple decks in the OCG right now, and people also theorizing it to be played with Nekroz. All that together has this as a $24 to $25 quarter century secret rare after it was doing nothing but going down. And you can see even a sale at 20 here recently. Proxy F Magician, I'm not sure what this is for. Let me know if you know. This quarter century secret rare has been consistently going up and is now towards $20. I would love to know what this is being played with. Is it Cyber's Good Stuff? Rizal? Is that what it... Not Rizal, my bad. Malice. I'm combining decks in my head here that I shouldn't be. But seriously, Cyber's Monster, I could see that maybe being for it, but you fusion summon a fusion monster, so I feel like that should be probably something else. And then finally, I know Team Samurai X1 did a profile on this recently, and it's been a popular rogue option. Really feels like what people wanted Mimighoul to be, but it's DM era goodness. The Exodia kind of deck, Millennium Ankh quarter century secret rare and the Shield have both gone into buyout / up mode. This is towards 32 and quickly 35, while the Ankh is clearly just going up in price right now. It is around 45 and goes towards 50 where it was sitting lower. Thanks for watching today's Market Watch. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy the conversations. I try to keep it as numerical as possible while also talking about like the other side of things lately, because I do realize a lot of people, when they make the decision to sell things, it can be emotional. And same with buying. It's, oh man, it could go up. Do I go ahead and get it now? And instead of going back and taking it with cool analytics, a lot of people kind of like, I would be so mad if it goes up, I'm gonna get it and take it there. Where when a set drops and there are pre-sales, I feel like there's going to be plenty of movement. You can see it from the 10s. Yes, things went up. Maybe you're mad some things went up, and now this set's crushed a lot of the 10s and some things are going down. The same thing is going to happen with this set, minus a lot of the reprints, because they're not going to do things in quarter century secret rare again unless it's an alter art. So I think a lot of these will end up stabilizing to some degree, but look at the Rarity 2 changes, Rarity 1 changes. Tons of buyouts happened over time, but if you're thinking about in the immediate, maybe chill a little bit and think analytically before pressing the buy button. That's my advice, but you can use that TCG Player link in the description down below, costing you nothing extra to support the channel directly.